Good morning, good evening, and good afternoon. I hope you are well today. Got my little lovely Kalimba here. I have the cat with me, which in hindsight might be a really bad idea. So if you see something jumping at me, he has a habit of trying to get on the laptop, but he's also really good company. So we'll see how that goes. There you go. So he's trying to get at the door, which is all part of the game. So I hope everyone is well. This is a new series I wanted to start off today, and I'll just take a little while to explain what I'm doing before I get started. Here comes the cat. When I first started on YouTube, this is actually what I wanted to do. I believe that inspiration fuels inspiration. And there's a few ways of looking at that. Part of that is that half the time we're inspired, half the time we're looking for things that inspire us as well. And that zone in between is, what fuels us, what keeps us going. And one of the most common ones for myself and for a lot of people is music. And that's not all of it, but that's a lot of it. I also believe as an artist that half of it's actually producing art. Half of it's actually being a muse. And that means, looking for inspiration and hopefully inspiring people a little bit along the way as well. Hello, welcome, Pug. Really good to see you. It won't be a long one today. So I'm aiming with these ones. I want to do one of these every day or two. And I have a lot I want to cover. It's about me doing a brief introduction, probably for about 10 minutes at the start, into something that really inspires me. But I very much want to talk to other people about what inspires them, because I think in life, even if it's not something you're into, it motivates and inspires you as well. And we've very much found here on a music side of things, when lockdown happened, we all had musical instruments in the back of our wardrobe and all these latent talents we hadn't touched for a long time and things we used to really enjoy. And a lot of us went and pulled instruments out of the cupboard, and between us, we all kind of worked out stuff we liked. And I've started doing a visual arts degree because of that. When I started, I had photography and filmmaking as my major because I wanted to do exactly what this series is all about as well. Sorry, I've just got half an eye on the cat too. Hello, Road. How are you? Naked bees. Yeah. So I did, once I got started, I didn't think I could draw, and I actually realized we all can. We all have these skills in our, these ingredients in our inspiration soups, for want of a better word, that keep us going. And I'm now a year and a bit into a visual arts degree. So that's a long-worded version of it. Pardon me. Oh, I do apologize. You know how they sometimes... that coffee went down the wrong way. See, inspiration in life is funny that way. I just drank my coffee a little too fast and it went down the wrong way. And that's what life is about sometimes. And it's taken my voice with it. So give me a second. Here comes the cat. There we go. We'll let the cat entertain us for a second while I get and see, that's what it's all about. The cat's one of my greatest muses. Nature is one of my greatest muses. You never know what's going to happen, and it's always eventful. And in reality, I was kind of keeping half an eye on the cat, that I wasn't watching what I was doing, which is kind of how it all happened. Oh. And you probably can't see with my filter. Let me just show you quickly as well before I start singing. I've made myself cry from coughing, and I've got purple lipstick on. Some of the face paint I've been messing around with doesn't suit my skin well. It doesn't like it. So I thought I'll put some on my lips and see what happens. So there you go. In the way of inspiration in the random world. So today, there are so many different things that inspire all of us too. So if you have, I know a lot of you have favorite artists like Rode. I know you, one of your main inspirations is going to be crochet, all that style of music that really just, yours is also a lot of the old lullabies and stuff like that, which I also adore. They're one of mine too, because they're more than they do more than one thing. They not only do we get the beauty of listening to something we really like, but we have so many positive memories around them, and they relax us and calm us. And I'm finding that's getting a lot harder in this modern world. There's a lot more cortisol and stress everywhere, that it's becoming a struggle for a lot of us at the best of times to actually get these little reliefs. And sometimes, that'll stop inspiration. And inspiration doesn't mean to go and create something or to make something. It can be just to get out of bed and live your life too. We need that on a daily basis, I've found. And what I also think with inspiration is, as you get older, those periods between being inspired and looking for inspiration actually get wider. So if you're lucky, if you work out where some of your zones are and the things that really make you happy, and they're the ones you go to in those moments. Yeah. See, I believe there's good and bad in every sort of music, and you just have to find it. And I struggle with country music. I'm with you there. I do. I struggle to find good country music I like, but there are certain parts of it I do really, really like too. So what I'll do is I'll sing us a quick song, and then I'll come back and talk a little bit more about this. And a lot of it's, hobby stuff too, or life stuff. And I actually worked out a part of how to start the Kookaburra song for goats as well. So I'll come back to you. But see, this is how it goes. We get these little random, bits of inspiration that come in. So one of my absolute favorite places, and when we're in those areas of music, whatever that inspires us, we kind of come alive. We really zone out with it. We enjoy it a lot more. And for me, Tom Waits is one of my favorite places to be, to sing, to listen to in any capacity, to watch him act. Anything he does, I absolutely adore. And one of the things that often, when you sort of do a bit of the sing streams and stuff like that, is you end up singing, maybe a few of the artist songs and not necessarily all of them as well. And Tom Waits is one of those people you either love or you hate. And very much for me, when I'm in a Tom Waits mode, I want to listen to nothing but Tom Waits for 2 days. My favorite Tom Waits lines is, first of all, out of Step Right Up, which is the large print giveth and the small print taketh away, which is so life. And my absolute favorite line comes from the one that got away, which is, I've lost my equilibrium, my car keys and my pride. And I think we've all been there. And I love him for his lyrics and his music and the way he kind of does everything too. So he's always been, and particularly his earlier stuff, I just adore. So on that note, this is one of his really fun, silly songs. And I do sometimes giggle in this song for a completely irrational reason I haven't been able to work out yet, or I'd stop doing it. So this is Ice Cream Man. Boom, 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 boom. I'll be clicking by your house about 2:45. Sidewalk, Sunday surprise. I got cherry popsicle right on time. A big stick, mama, that'll blow your mind, 'cause I'm the ice cream man. I'm a one-man band. Yeah, I'm the ice cream man. Honey, I'll be good to you. Baby, miss me in the alley, baby, don't you fret. Come back round and don't forget, when you're tired and you're hungry and you want something cool, got something clearer than a swimming pool, 'cause I'm the ice cream man. I'm a one-man band. I'm the ice cream man. Honey, I'll be good to you. 'Cause I'm the ice cream man. I'm a one-man band. I'm the ice cream man. Honey, I'll be good to you. See me coming and got no change. Don't worry, baby, it can be arranged. Show me you can smile, baby, just for me. Fix you with the drumstick, I'll do it for free, 'cause I'm the ice cream man. I'm a one-man band. I'm the ice cream man. Honey, I'll be good to you. I'll be good to you. Be good to you. Oh, you-be-da. You-be-da. I'll be good to you. Be good to you. See, one of the reasons I also love him is he scats, and I love scatting, and I'll do a few of his songs that scat. I just love Tom Waits. I just love him, love him, love him. Hello, Jenny. Welcome. I hope you are well. Really good to see you earlier. And on a quick note as well, let me just change the filter over for a minute so you can at least see my pretty purple lips. I really enjoy. I've been missing your stream. So if anyone isn't subscribed to Roadhog, which I'm assuming you all are, Roadhog and Hag, and sometimes there's other people there as well. Normally do a stream that works out to be when I just get up in the morning and have my coffee. And it became such a beautiful nature fix for me during lockdown. We were all locked in our houses. We all love nature. Nature is one of the biggest inspirations to me. So for me, seeing goats, seeing grass when it's, in the middle of winter here, and snow when it's in the middle of summer here, we're all fascinated by what other people have, and I get a real kick out of that. And I've very much been missing your stream, so I was really, really glad to see that you were back today. And I know Jenny is definitely on the same page with me there, so thank you. And I'm going to do you a few little excerpts of some of the Tom Waits songs I don't always sing, sometimes because they take so much breath to get from one end to the other that I can't always, do so many of them at once. But this is partly about me trying to share a little bit more of the stuff that I am inspired with. And I very much encourage other people to come and share with me as well. And that doesn't have to be song, music, it can be anything in your life. We can do it via chat. I've also got some little basic questions that I worked out a while ago, which I'll try to, ask people, because I think between all of us, we remind each other of things we used to love. And sometimes it's just to get out of the, the chaos that the modern world's become for a little while. So, and it makes a big, it really helps, Road, to have people like that. It really does. It makes the world a difference. And it makes the place very warm too. And Jenny's really, really good at that. There's it's a lot easier sometimes to do things with people you have a common ground and a trust and a mutual respect with as well too. So, though I'm really, really happy to be singing up here, I'd much prefer to have Pug and Clay up here with me every moment if I could, but life doesn't always go that way. So, and vice versa. So it's kind of, it really helps a lot. It really, really does. And, I could tell you what a heap of your here's muses are, but I'm sure a lot of you know that too. But this is the stuff I really want to talk about. And I'm also going to start as of tomorrow. I have to do a gallery visit for my degree. So I'm going to start a couple of times a week doing this out of the house too. I'm going to take you and show you all these things around Melbourne, cover a lot more of the Melbourne street art, which is one of the things that really inspires me. I'll sort of try to do half-hour to an hour streams when I'm out and about, and I'll do them a few times a week. I can coordinate them with my lectures and stuff like that. And this is sort of stuff that this is what it's all about for me. So, the music and song and everything like that are very much part of it, but at the core of it, this is what it's about for me. So actually, I don't think that's the right filter for today. See, Tom Waits was very sepia. I think kind of like, I don't know why, but I just feel sepia and black and white. Yeah, and it's all about the animals. And something's just fallen over in the other room. I just heard a bang, 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 bang. And you know what? That had to have been caused by an animal. And it's not the cat, because the cat's behind me at the moment. So that means the guinea pigs have probably knocked something over, or the cat put something precariously on the edge of something, which is probably the most likely one, and it's decided to topple. So I'll go out there and find something on the floor shortly. But that's okay. That can wait for another 15 minutes or so. So on that note, let me just take you through a little bit more of Tom Waits. So there'll be a few songs that now I have a list. All of my song lists are broken up. So I have one that's got all my favorite artists, and I'm going to do this for every one of the artists on that. So that includes, I'll just quickly tell you who is on my favorite artists list. It's Deep Purple, Jethro Tull, Tom Waits, Pink Floyd, Simon and Garfunkel, King Crimson, Johnny Cash, David Bowie, Metallica, Madness, The Specials, another really good UK ska group, a couple of them, Toots and the Maytals, The Specials, Hepcat, Amy Winehouse, Royal Crown Review, The Beatles, Queen, Led Zeppelin, Talking Heads, and Ween. So they're my absolute happy zone favourite things to sing. And then all of the Australian stuff, which constitutes quite a lot of that, is in its own songbook. But I'll do a lot more of these down the line. And it's just really, it gives everyone a bit of a introduction to a few different things. So one of the songs I will have sung for you quite a few times is, he does a lot of beautiful ballady style songs as well. This one's called Grapefruit Moon. So let me just really quickly write this in the it's funny, isn't it? I nearly choked myself on the coffee watching the cat. The cat's all safe, and we've had disaster in the other room. I like how the world works sometimes. So here we go. And Jenny, I know you'll definitely, I might do the Simon and Garfunkel one for you next, because I could sing for an hour and not run out of Simon and Garfunkel songs to sing. So I might do that one as number 2 for you. And these are the things I love singing. They make me really happy, really, really happy. So anyway, this is Grapefruit Moon. Grapefruit moon, one star shining, shining down on me. I think this one's a little bit better for that one. Heard that tune, and now I'm pining. Honey, can't you see? 'Cause every time I hear that melody, well, something breaks inside. And the grapefruit moon, one star shining, can't turn back the tide. Never had no destinations, could not get across. You became my inspiration. Oh, but what a cost. 'Cause every time I hear that melody, well, something breaks inside. And the grapefruit moon, one star shining, is more than I can hide. Now I'm smoking cigarettes as I strive for purity. And I slip like the stars into obscurity. 'Cause every time I hear that melody, well, puts me up a tree. And the grapefruit moon, one star shining, is all that I can see. So there you go. That's one of my favorite Tom Waits songs, which I adore. Welcome.com. I hope you are really, really well. I like the inspired me question, I know, and that's what it's all about. And see, .com and I will share a great inspiration and passion in one area, and that's words. So I have always loved words, always loved language in all of its forms. One of my favorite questions for people used to be, what is your favorite word and why? I can tell you what mine is. It's facetious. Facetious, just in case my pronunciation came out badly there. It's the only word in the English language that has every vowel in order in it, which I love. And I'm always being facetious. So that is my favorite word, and a little bit of a random word play for you there. Hello, hello, hello. And in case a lot of you don't know as well, Pug's got a new channel too, just on that note, which is the Pugface IRL channel. I know a lot of you will have Pugface Media and Pugface Music, so it's a lot of fun. Chuck a link in if you... Oh, Pug, I haven't modded you up yet. See, that's how new it is. I haven't even modded this channel of Pugs. So give me a second. I'll try to add the link in for that. Or if someone else could add Pug's IRL channel link in, would be really good. So it was a huge amount of fun last night. He was out and about around Palm Springs. This morning he was out feeding the dogs, with the dogs, feeding the ducks. And I really love my nature and stuff. That's the stuff I love. For the same reason I love watching roads streams, where I just get my nature fix in whatever way we can. And I think sometimes we're so locked in our houses now that we gravitate either to outdoors when we can, and when we can't, we congregate online, and with like-minded people, because we have similar things that we might not all be into the same stuff, but there's normally a bit of a common ground in there somewhere. Yeah. I'm glad. Yes, they're very, very good ones. Beloved, cherished, darling, dear, fair head, favoured, fond, and loved, indeed. And as a lot of you will know, because I'm Australian, I give you extra vowels all the time. And we also used to say I'm half Kiwi. So if you want to know the difference between an Australian and a New Zealand accent, Australians will give you extra vowels where you might technically believe they don't belong. Kiwis will take them away. So they swallow their vowels. So we'll say fish and chips, and they'll say fosh and chops. So they swallow their vowels. So yeah, we give too many and they take them away. So there you go. Oh, there's some really good words there too. Oh, thank you, Jenny. I really appreciate that. So what I'll do quickly, just to keep the music going as well, and then I'll come and have another quick chat to everyone. They're really good words. See, I love this, and I love word games, and I love playing things like, I grew up playing Scrabble. Oh my God, I love Scrabble and stuff like that. And I just love words, and my whole family, I grew up reading. Like, we wouldn't watch TV at night, we'd read books, and hello. Okay, do we have to buy? The vowels are free. Free for all. Here's an A, here's an E, here's an I, O, U. Do with them as you will. There are 21 consonants as well. You can have as many of them as you require. And isn't it worse when you're playing Scrabble when you get stuck with nothing but I's and E's? But on that note, I am doing welcome anyone that I haven't modded up yet. I will mod you up afterwards as well. I'm doing a little just bit of an introduction to one of my absolute favorite artists, and we're chatting about things that inspire us. So everyone, let me know in the chat who your favorite artists are. Who are the ones that no matter what will always change your mood, put you in a better place, that have good memories, that you find you're smiling without realizing when you listen to them. So I'm only going to do a short bit of a few little Tom Waits songs here because these ones are quite breathy. This is actually one of my favorite songs of his, which is called The One That Got Away, and it has my all-time favorite line out of it, which is, "I've lost my equilibrium, my car keys, and my pride." So I will do as much of this one for you as my breath will allow. And look, Tom Waits is one of those people that has so many different styles too, from really nice ballads through to, really experimental industrial stuff through to, he actually covered a Ramones song. And I think, Jenny, you'd appreciate this. The song he covered was "I Don't Want to Grow Up." And it's on my list of, but not this current one, which I'll try to do for you down the line because it's such a good song. And I love the fact that he thought it was good enough to cover. That says a lot. So here we go. This is "The One That Got Away" by Tom Waits. Well, the gigolo's jumping salty, ain't no trade out on the streets. Half past the unlucky, and the hawk's a front row seat. Dressed in full orchestration, stage door Johnny's got to pay, and send him home talking about the one that got away. Could have been on easy street, could have been a wheel with irons in the fire and all those business deals. But the last of the big time losers shouted before he drove away, "I'll be right back as soon as I cracked the one that got away." Well, ambulance drivers, they don't give a shit. They just want to get off work. And the shortstop and the victim are already gone berserk. And the shroud tailor measures him for a deep six holiday. The stiff is froze, the case is closed on the one that got away. Now Jim Crow's directing traffic with those cemetery blues, with them peculiar looking trousers and them old Italian shoes, and a wooden kimono that we're all ready to shop in San Francisco Bay. But he's mumbling something all about the one that got away. And a lot of this one's obviously spoken word. He kind of flips between the two. So, and he's got quite a deep voice. Anyway, that is my favorite one, but I'm going to keep moving along and just give you a few little excerpts as well. The one you will have heard me singing more than anything, which is my favorite Tom Waits song, and I'll just tell you a verse of this one, is "The Piano Has Been Drinking," which Pug calls the drunk piano song, and he's not the first one ever to call it the drunk piano song as well. So, I love deer. See, deer is what it's all about too. And all animals I love. And I love the fact that all of us that love animals, we love them all, but then we might have a couple of them that we're like really passionate about. And like I have a top 3 favorite animals. I think we're all probably the same. So for different reasons. Hello, Magda. How are you? Oh, it's okay. I've only just got started, and this is kind of a new little series I'm going to do. They're only going to be shorter ones, so they'll be kind of half an hour to the hour mark. But I'll do more of them, and if they're a bit more chatty, if that makes sense, than music, and it's not always going to be music. I'll share different things. So I'll also, start looking at a lot of the art stuff I do. Hence why I've got my easel and stuff. So I've got a camera set up now so I can do art and stuff and show you a lot of this stuff while we're doing stuff as well. So and that's what it's about. And the things, capture is the best, one of the really good word for it. What I love more than anything is the stuff you catch out of the corner of your eye. And that's normally the nature stuff. And the ability to get those really good captures in nature means you've kind of learnt the cycles of it enough to be able to tune in a bit, and you start seeing them, whether it be deers or birds or whatever. And I love that sort of stuff. It's like you kind of get in on the game with nature a little bit, and it meets you halfway, I kind of believe too, because you got to learn its pattern, and it starts to go, okay, I'm a bit more serious about you. You're not a threat. You understand my ways. Okay, I'll let you get a bit closer. And that's what a lot of it's all about too. So hello. So there we go. Okay, so I'm quickly caught up. So let me just keep doing. So this is just one verse of the Piano Has Been Drinking song. So here we go. The piano has been drinking, my necktie is asleep, and the combo went back to New York. The jukebox had to take a leak, and the carpet needs a haircut, and the spotlight looks like a prison break, and the telephone's out of cigarettes, and the balcony is on the make, and the piano has been drinking. The piano has been drinking. So that's one of his most famous ones, and I sing that one more than anything. So for a lot of you that haven't met Magda, she's over in Russia, so way in the other side of town, and it turns out she's more of an expert in Australia than most people would be, and Magda's lovely. So you've probably met Rode before. Rode does really, really cool streams on his farm in Illinois, and it's just awesome. Jenny's there all the time as well. Jenny's lovely. You will have seen her here too. So Adjust Your Focus, you will have also is through Rode's streaming world, and is lovely. So we're all kind of nature lovers in different ways. .com I know you will have met already, and I'm pretty sure everyone else you will have met. So just in case any of you hadn't met Magda, there you go. So moving along quickly, the one that got away I did for you. Martha is my absolute, Martha is his very sad love song of Remorse, and I will have sung this one before. I'll just sing you the first verse and the chorus of this one. And this was the song back in the days when I was still drinking, and it's been 20 years since I stopped drinking. And when I got, those moments when you get drunk and teary and the emotion comes out, this is the song that I would sing. So this makes my earlier still drinking self happy, for a better way of putting it. So here we go. This is Martha. Operator, number please. It's been so many years. Will she remember my old face while I fight the tears? Hello there. Is this Martha? This is old Tom Frost. And I am calling long distance. Don't worry about the cost, 'cause it's been 40 years or more now. Martha, please recall. Meet me out for coffee where we'll talk about it all. And those were days of roses, poetry and prose, and Martha, all I had was you, and all you had was me. There were no tomorrows. We packed away our sorrows, and we'll save them for a rainy day. So there you go. That's a little bit of Martha, which I love. And you always know I'm having fun when I close my eyes and I zone out. That's like the best type of singing for me. So I nearly got married in my 20s. I nearly married an alcoholic arsehole, which is why I haven't drunk for 20 years, just so you know. So when all of that finished, I stopped. I never had a drinking problem myself, but sometimes in life we glaze over the other side of the equation. So I was actually going to sing this song at my wedding, and my best man, I would have had a male best maid, or whatever you call it, best bridesmaid, whatever the heck it was, and we were going to sing this song together. And I love this song. This one he actually scats in, and in hindsight, babies, I love babies, baby goats. See, one of the reasons I love goats too, goats are a whole concept and state of mind for me. I've always loved goats. My end of life goal, and I'll do it as soon as I can, is to get a little bit of land to, have I'm happy to start with a little shed or a tiny house. I don't need a lot, and, a decent art studio. And I want a guard goat called Nancy. I want to be completely off the grid, self-sustained as much as possible, which will be my base. So I've always loved goats with a passion, and I call that plan Nancy for that reason, because, that's what. And I've been surrounded by goats a lot in the past. My family had a farm. We didn't have goats there. We had dairy. But there was a lot of goats and stuff around, and there's certain animals I think we just have a real connection with. I love goats. I'm also Capricorn, so I'm half sea goat. So there's a part of me that likes, I'm a bit of a stubborn goat at times. And I'm half wet fish at times. But I think with a lot of stuff, once you start to work this out, it gets a bit easier. And that's just mine. So anyway, let me just quickly put the name of this one in the chat. So this one is called Little Trip to Heaven. This is, I think, one of his best songs. He scats a bit in the end of it too, which I really love. So here we go. This is one of my favorite. Actually, let me do a slightly different filter for this one, because I think we've done this one enough for the moment. No, not that one. Sorry, I've got like 5 that. Yeah, let's do this one. I've got like 5 that say psychedelia, and it's like, until you click on them, you don't know which one it is. But anyway, that's okay. This is Little Trip to Heaven on the Wings of Your Love by Tom Waits. Lazy trip to heaven on the wings of your love. Banana moon is shining in the tree. Feel like I'm in heaven when you're with me. Know that I'm in heaven when you smile. Though we're stuck here on the ground, I got something that I found, and it's you. And I don't have to take no trip to outer space. All I have to do is look at your face. And before I know it, I'm in orbit around you. Thanking my lucky stars that I found you. When I see your constellation, honey, you're my inspiration. And it's you. And it's you. You're my North Star when I'm lost and feeling blue. The sun is breaking through the clouds. Don't you know it's true? Honey, all the other stars seem dim around you. Thanking my lucky stars that I found you. when I see your smiling face. And you know nothing's ever gonna take your place. And it's you, 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 and it's you. Shooby-doo-ba-ba-da. So there we go. That's one of my favorite songs ever. That's Little Trip to Heaven. I've even rewritten that one as a guinea pig song, which is All Grass is from Heaven, and the guinea pig version. So let me put my old woman glasses back on for a second. Yeah, good idea. Yeah, that's a really good idea. That's a really good idea. There's like an app called Buy Me a Coffee. You could say buy me hay or whatever it is, because you can change the word. Yeah, feed the goats. Feed the goats would be a good one to use. So yeah. Yeah, good idea. It's funny, one of those things I find when you're in farming in any degree, you're constantly moving and fixing fences. That tends to be. And I got really good at getting over barbed wire fences and knowing when they're electrified. And you know how to run really freaking fast when you've got a bull on your heels. I'll tell you that much. And how to clear said barbed wire fence in one jump without catching your gumboot, as we call them here, because you have to wear your gumboots because it's muddy. So trust me, I understand the big defrost where you are at the moment and the big kind of semi-mud that a lot of it turns into when it's like that. So one of the songs that Tom Waits also did was a version of Waltzing Matilda. And this is, I think this is probably late 70s when he did this one. The song's actually called Tom Trubert's Blues, Four Sheets to the Wind in Copenhagen. So I'm only going to do you a couple of verses of this because it is like a 10-minute song. And it's a really beautiful version. So a lot of us love Waltzing Matilda. And so if you ever want an alternate version, I'm often happy to sing this one. But it's kind of that I do it at the end of the stream because it takes my breath. So here we go. This is a little bit of Tom Trubert's, or Tom Trubert's, depending on how you pronounce it. Tom Trubert's Blues. Wasted and wounded, it ain't what the moon did. Got what I paid for now. See you tomorrow. Hey Frank, can I borrow a couple of bucks from you to go waltzing Matilda, waltzing Matilda? You'll go waltzing Matilda with me. I'm an innocent victim of a blinded alley, and tired of all those soldiers here. No one speaks English and everything's broken, and my Stacy's are soaking wet. To go waltzing Matilda, waltzing Matilda, you'll go waltzing Matilda with me. And on a really random side bit, I know you're in Illinois Road. Tom Waits is from Illinois. He's from Chicago. So he's actually an Illinoisan, if that's the right word for it. So that song I adore, but it's super, super long. And today I'm going to do you a few full ones, but it's more about giving everyone a little bit of a taste of White tails are spiders here. So do you mean, I'm assuming you mean white-tailed deers, and not white-tailed spiders, or maybe white-tailed goats. Yeah, we have white tails are one of the really, we have the most deadly animals in the entire world in Australia, and the bulk of them are in Queensland. So, and I think a lot of species will have a white tail, in it. So it can be many, many different things. So, oh, nice. See, we don't get deer here. We get a couple of wild venison. More in New Zealand gets quite a lot of wild venison, but not so much in Australia. We have wild horses, which we call brumbies, but we have quite a few different animals. We had a Tasmanian tiger, which became extinct, which is very unfortunate. So, yeah, and it'd be good. And they probably really like the rose hips when they're in season too. And they've probably learned how to avoid the thorns too, like a sixth sense of some form. Okay, so that was Tom Trobbett's Blues. I've already sung you Ice Cream Man. So this is actually one of my favorite songs, and it's really fast, and I don't know if I have enough breath for this one. This one has my second favorite ever Tom Waits line in it, which is the large print giveth and the small print taketh away. One of my early friends and I had a bad habit of any time we'd find a wooden floor anywhere, we'd break into tap dance and start singing this song. So I'll do a little bit of it for you. So this is Step Right Up. It's his song all about spruiking and the modern marketing and how it's all kind of got out of control. This is the song that made me fall in love with Tom Waits. Hello, Callag. How are you? Welcome. It is really good to see you today. Hello. They eat the thorns. That's really cool. That's really cool. Welcome. I hope you are well. I'm probably going to be going for maybe another 10 minutes or so today. So this one's just a short stream. I'm talking about one of my favorite artists, Tom Waits, today. So I've spent a lot of time singing his songs. And on a side note, Tom Waits is a really good actor as well. One of his earlier films I love, which was in black and white with Roberto Benigni and John Law, I think was the name of the other actor, was called Down by Law. Queen's Logic he was in. He's done, I know someone was telling me he was in one of the recent Marvel films or something like that as well. So he's a really good actor too. He turns up everywhere. He's really good, Tom Waits. So, and he's still going. He's still producing music. One of my big life dreams was always, and still is, to see Tom Waits perform in New Orleans is one of my absolute life dreams. But I think after the whole Katrina thing, I do recall him saying he wouldn't perform there again, but I don't know if that's changed. So that's one of my big life dreams. So if anyone's ever seen Tom Waits live, I'm infinitely jealous. So there we go. And Khaled, I'm pretty sure you're in the Philippines as well. So I'm in Melbourne, Australia, and Road and everyone else here are over in the States at the moment. And Magda's in Russia. And where else have we got people here? .com, I'm pretty sure you're Canada. Yeah, so that's a little just where everyone is at the moment. Depending on the time zone, we get different people, which is good. So I like to do some of the earlier streams as well. That way there's now, if you want to come and sing a song as well, you're more than welcome to as well. I'll just put the link in the chat for you as well. I will do a sing stream later on, but it's probably going to be like four hours away. So sort of 6:30 my time. So that won't be for a while, but we'll do a little bit more here. So on that note, this is Step Right Up. Step right up. Step right up. Everyone's a winner, bargains galore. That's right, you too can be the proud owner of the Quality Girls Inn before the name goes on. 1/10 of a dollar, 1/10 of a dollar. We got service after sales. You need perfume, we've got perfume. How about an engagement ring? Something for the little lady, something for the little lady, something for the lady. 3 for $1. We got a year-round clearance. We got a white sale on smoke damaged furniture. You can drive it away today. Act now, and receive as our gift. Our gift to you. They come in all sizes. One size fits all. No muss, no fuss, no spills. We're tired of kitchen drudgery. Everything must go. Going out of business, going out of business, going out of business. Sale. 50% off original retail price. Skip the middleman. Don't settle for less. How do we do it? How do we do it? Volume, turn up the volume. Anyway, that's his really cool kind of spruiking fast one. So I will do more of that one down the line when I have a little bit more oxygen. Okay, this is probably my second favorite Tom Waits song, and this one's called Black Wings, and this is quite a dark song. For this one, I will use my perfect. So this is Black Wings, and I'm only going to do a little bit of this one. Thank you. I do appreciate it. So I'm trying to, today it's all about Tom Waits today. So, and later I will be doing, I had a theme chosen. I can't remember what it was. But anyway, so that's going to be really late for you. Unfortunately, I apologize. And that's why I'm trying to do sort of a briefer one earlier and a later one. And my studies and YouTube have now collided. So this is all my work now. So I can actually factor all of this into my study time because I have to spend like 3 days a week on studio time. So where I'm meant to be in my studio working on my art and what I do, and this is it. This is all part of it. So, and you're seeing part, I'm slowly starting to show you a little bit more of that as we go. So, and as I was saying earlier, I believe half of being an artist is actually producing work. Half of it is being a muse. And to be a muse is to inspire people and to live a life that brings these things so we can do that as well. So, and music has a way of inspiring everyone. I believe most people that sing in any form or play music in any form act as a muse for people. 50% of it is being a musician and loving what they do. 50% of it is actually being a muse. Sometimes they'll love what you do. Sometimes they'll love the song. It doesn't matter as long as it inspires people. That's kind of how I look at a lot of this stuff too. So in reality, what I'm doing is I'm going to try to explain some of my muses. And, if they inspire some other people, then, aquatic plants, I imagine they'd love to. It'll give them a good chunk of water content too. So anyway, this is one of his darker songs, and I'm only going to, we'll see how far I get into this. Because he uses his really deep, gravelly voice for this one. So here we go. We'll take an eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth, just like they say in the Bible. We'll never leave a trace or forget a face of any man at the table. Any man at the table. When the moon is a cold, chiseled dagger, and it's sharp enough to draw blood from a stone. He rides through your dreams on a coach and horses, and the fence posts in the moonlight look like bones. Well, they stop trying to hold him with mortar, stone, and chain. He broke out of every prison. When the boots mount the staircase and the door is flung back open, he's not there, for he has risen. He is not there, for he has arisen. Some say he once killed a man with a guitar string. He's been seen at the table with kings. Well, he once saved a baby from drowning. There are those that say beneath his coat there are wings. Well, some say they fear him. Others admire him because he steals his promise. But one look in his eye and everyone denies ever having met him, ever having met him. He can turn himself into a stranger. Well, he broke a lot of canes on his hide. He was born away in a cornfield. A fever beats in his head just like a drum inside. Some say they fear him, others admire him because he steals his promise. But one look in his eyes, everyone denies ever having met him, ever having met him. So there we go. I don't quite know how that one translated. That one's really low. So, and it's like low and grumbly and very spoken. So I love that song. And I haven't sung that one a cappella before because I'm not quite sure how it translates. I love me bunnies too. So one of my other favorite songs of his is Swordfish Trombone. And this was, can't remember what this one was based on. Anyway, so this is a little bit of Swordfish Trombone. Well, he came home from the war with a party in his hand, a modified board Bundeville, and a pair of legs that opened up like butterfly wings, and a mad dog that wouldn't sit still. He went and took up with the Salvation Army band girl who played dirty water on a swordfish trombone. He went to sleep at the bottom of 10 Killer Lake, and he said, gee, but it's great to be home. Well, he came home from the war with a party in his head and an idea for a fireworks display. And he knew that he'd be ready with a stainless steel machete and half a pint of Valentine's each day. And he holed up in a room above a hardware store, crying nothing but Hollywood tears. He put a spell on some poor little Crutchfield girl and stayed like that for 27 years. He packed up all his expectations. He lit out for California with a fly swatter banjo on his knee, with a lucky tiger in his angel hair and Benzedrine for getting there. They found him in a eucalyptus tree. Lieutenant got him a canary bird and skanked her head for every word. Chesterfield moonbeams in a song. He got 20 years for loving her from some Oklahoma governor. She said everything this doughboy does is wrong. Now some say he's doing the obituary mumbo. Now some say that he's hanging on the wall. Perhaps the yarn is the only thing that holds this man together. Some say that he was never here at all. Some say they saw him down in Birmingham, sleeping in a boxcar going by. And if you think you can tell a bigger tale, I swear to God you'd have to tell a lie. So there we go. There's a little more Tom Waits. The butterfly freaks you out. Okay, let's change from the butterfly there. Sorry, I thought I'd change back, and I've obviously left it going. How about a little bit of that goes with my purple lips? So let's go this one for a little while. I've nearly made it to the bottom of my list, and some of them are really hard for me to sing because they're really deep and low. But when that's the case, they work really well as spoken word. And when he sings that low, he kind of does it half spoken word, half sing. So he'll kind of do, like, he might only sing 2 or 3 words in a verse, but it's very rhythmic in the way he speaks it as well. So if that kind of makes sense. Thank you very much. I do really, really appreciate that. Now, I've been reticent. I've been off singing songs and I'm a little behind in the chat. So let me, oh, nice. I like tiptoe through the tulips, through the moon. That's on my list somewhere there. Tiny Tim. I often find myself singing that song to myself. I think we all have those little songs, pardon me, that we really like, that particularly cross our mind when we're out in nature and doing stuff, and we find we're kind of bopping away with them. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Owls are one of my favorite top three animals ever is owls. So I love owls in all form. Oh, my pleasure. My pleasure. And I hope you have a really, really good day yourself. I'll be probably finished in the next 5 minutes or so. Like I'm literally almost done. So yeah, I like a bit of everything. And in life, this is part of it too. I've always been very phasic, and I used to beat myself up for being phasic. When I do, maybe I'd knit for 3 months and then I wouldn't knit for a while and I'd go do something else, or I'd, get into this for a while. And I learned it's how it works. This is how inspiration works. There are things we do when we're looking for inspiration, things we do when we're fueled, things I do when I'm happy, things I do when I'm sad. When I'm having a bad time, I knit because I feel like I'm kind of at least putting stuff back together a bit. So, yeah, so it's a little bit of everything. So I know and usually I only use that one for Johnny Cash. Because he was very much the dark butterfly. So, yeah, I understand. Being colorblind would be hard. I've got a couple of relatives that are colorblind too, so I have a degree of appreciation about that. So, yeah, and yeah. Oh, thank you. That's a really lovely thing to say. It's a really lovely thing. Thanks. Um, this is the way I look at it as well. I'm not everyone's cup of tea. No one in the world is, and whether I like it or not, part of the reality of it, and this is still a reality for me in the art world here in Australia, in the music world and everything like that. There isn't the same opportunity for women. And I'm also a 49-year-old woman, or 48-year-old woman, sorry. So a lot of this stuff when I was earlier, things weren't even an option for me being female. Things have changed a lot now, and I'm really, really glad for that. And I'm not saying that's the reason for it, but it is part of it. And a lot of people don't always understand what I do, and that's partly on me. And up until 3-4 weeks ago, I wasn't turning my camera on. So I personally believe that is on me, and that was, I realized I was doing a disservice to everyone by not turning my camera on. And partly it was my old setup because I prefer to sing standing up. Let's Go Fly a Kite. I'll write that down now. And when I did that, you'd be literally looking up my nose. And there was a part of me that was really scared of actually showing everyone myself and doing all of it. And so for me, and a lot of it is, it took me until I was in my 40s to get over myself and relax a bit to actually share a lot of this stuff. And I had to think about this a lot when I started my art degree, because when you do art and anything, you have what you call your inward facing stuff. So the stuff you do when you're on your own. And then you have your outward facing stuff. So the stuff we do when we're in the world, that can be work we do, how we interact with other people, stuff like that. And I used to not share any of my inward facing stuff. And it's so much a core of who I was. So I've kind of been very much trying to be a lot more raw and honest, and show whichever part of myself I need to at the time, because it's all part of it. And that's part of this, phasic aspect as well, as I've got lots of things I love doing. Some I'm crap at, some I'm good at. Some are a work in progress. I do it because I love it. And I think so often in life we miss that. And yeah, that's on the list now. It went on in pink pen too. I don't know if that makes any difference, but it's in pink pen. So, and it will, if people are meant to find me, they will. And I am not everyone's cup of tea. So that's all okay too. And I like really obscure music too. So I slightly do myself a disservice because sometimes I do the really popular stuff, but I love doing the stuff that everyone doesn't do, and that's not the most searched stuff either, but that's okay. And for me, it's never been about the numbers too. It's always been about having, I'd much prefer to have a small group of the right people than a huge group of some of the wrong people, and things can get a bit chaotic when it starts to get a lot larger too. So, and I worry that if it gets too big, I'll lose my ability to interact with everyone, which is a really large part of why I do this, It's just as much about me doing something I love as interacting with each of you in the chat, anyone that comes up on the panel. I really like this. There's a reason I learn about, people, because I'm genuinely interested. That's as much of it for me, because like everyone else, I became disconnected. I got stuck in my little box and I didn't see anyone all the time. And everyone's life really changed with the pandemic in recent years. So, to be able to interact with people. And it's also why the core of what I'm doing on an art level, I've realized that the best place for me to be is live. And anything I can do in this capacity or in front of an audience or with people or on the streets or anything like that, it's what it's all about for me. The rest is all kind of the preparation for that, if that makes sense. And we'll become part of it and I'll do my own thing with it. But so it's all about, trying to stay connected, to myself, to nature, to each other. And everyone that's, come into this chat over the time has been instrumental in my path. I wouldn't have been doing this without everyone. And I like to think that we all kind of keep each other inspired and fueled. We don't always have perfect days. We're not always in great places of mind. The last 2 years have been epically shit. They have been freaking horrible. But, there's been some really good that comes out of it too. So, and it wasn't, if it wasn't for a long time of doing this, I wouldn't have felt comfortable turning my camera on. And if pandemic hadn't happened where I had to turn my camera on for my university to study, I probably wouldn't have been as comfortable with it as I am now too. So, and I always was behind the camera. Like I learnt with Betamax video cameras and celluloid and everything like that. And I've always from a child hated being filmed. So it's something that, yeah, you know what? We haven't heard that for ages. Here we go. This is for you, Road. This is the Human Spirograph show. So, and I still need to write the lyrics of this out because this was me singing it for the first time when I filmed this. So this is from not last New Year's, but the New Year's before, including, I just went straight past it. Sorry, everyone. That's because I closed that section. Here we go. So this is for you, Road. The Human Spirograph. Oh, I want to be a spirograph of the humankind. Let those curves go out and the lines unwind. I want to be a spirograph of the humankind. Let my hand and I take control and see where symmetry lies. Oh, I want to be a spirograph. Let those lines run wild. The curves are taken off their own. A spiral Fibonacci bound. The golden ratios in my strokes, the flow turns to a line. My head knows what it wants to do. It's talking to my eye. Oh, I want to be a spirograph of the humankind. Let those curves take control as the lines unwind. I hope you all have a wonderful New Year's, and I hope to see you all then. Bye. See, there you go. I can't help myself. Ooh, ooh. Thank you for encouraging me to put myself on full screen too, Rode. And look, a lot of people, the thing I can probably say to you, most people that know me say to me, you're exactly the same on camera like you are in real life. I'm like this. And a lot of people don't like me for that reason. A lot of people do, but a lot of people have a big aversion to me. And that's okay. I'm at peace with that. I'm kind of really happy doing my own thing. So that's part of it as well. So, and yeah. And look, we all have there's things I can't do that I love watching people do. I find infinitely fascinating. And that's kind of why I really believe that, inspiration fuels inspiration. It doesn't matter what you're into. It really doesn't. I'm just into the fact that you're into it. That's really cool, And so on that note, let me just make sure I haven't missed any more Tom Waits songs. That's probably enough for look, that's probably enough for the moment. I've got a heap more Tom Waits on my list. So, but we'll do, it was meant to be just a nice little introduction to Tom Waits. And I have gone over the hour mark too. So, oh, my pleasure, Pug. I'm really glad you got to enjoy this while you were driving as well. So that's what a lot of it's about. Yeah. Yeah. I'm really, I can't type for crap when as soon as I go into a chat or online, my typing goes out the window. I get all my pronouns and stuff wrong, and I'm constantly going I instead of you. And I get myself in trouble partly with my Australian. Australian doesn't always translate to text well. It's what I call digital ping pong. It all comes out a little misconstrued sometimes. So yeah. Oh, I've done that before. And I collect violence, by the way. People put autocorrect changes my name to violent all the time, and no one does it intentionally. And I think it's hilarious. I think it's one of the best things ever. So we all have those little things that our names get. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And I tend to yeah. And look, with a lot of stuff, it's all about being in the moment. That's the beauty of nature and all of this sort of stuff, and inspiration, you go with it where it is. It's really about being in the moment and, seeing where that takes you. And what I'm very much learning is that art's all about play. And if you play in whatever form it is, be it with animals, nature, music, whatever it is, we were also good at playing when we were younger, and we kind of lose that a bit. So I've very much been trying to tap into my 6-year-old again and do the stuff that would have made her happy, because the way I look at it, she probably had a better idea in this than I did in some ways, before this modern world took over. So, yeah. Oh, I understand. So, look, anyway, on that note, I will leave it there. I will try to do one of these every day or every 2 days, and I'll pick a different thing. And what I'd really like is because I know a lot of people have stuff they're really interested in too. So everyone let me know what you're inspired by, and we'll make it all happen around that too. And I've got enough to keep us going for a while. So and I often say, when you sing music that's in your happy place, your zone, stuff you love, it translates so much better. And when you get to the end of the song, you've always got a big smile on your face, and that's what it's all about. And Tom Waits is definitely one of those places for me. And he's probably, of all of the lyricists I love, all of the musicians I love, I would have to say no one has influenced me, my poetry and my songwriting more than Tom Waits has. I'd have to probably say he's my number one songwriting influence. definitely on the lyrical side of things. And I think he's a sheer genius. And he was always a rule breaker and experimenter. And he has very much that old vaudeville cabaret kind of aspect to him as well, which I really, really adore. And, that's what a lot of it's about. And a lot of his stuff was really risque, if his lyrics still hold true, 40, 50 years down the line, then that was a good use of time as far as I'm concerned. So, yeah, I know the weather goes a bit nuts. So on that note, we have just gone 2:45 here, and I'm going to go have some lunch. So thank you, everyone, for joining me. Thank you, Adjust Your Focus, Road. Always an absolute delight. Thank you, Jenny. Absolute delight as always. Thank you, Pug, for spending your transit time. I hope wherever the day takes you for the rest of it, it is good. And hopefully we'll sing later on. .com, thank you so much for being here and all your beautiful words too. They really, really help. See, .com has the ability to inspire people through his words. And anyone that knows him will have seen this happen across countless chats and forums and places. That's the nature of it. And I think that's, Plato in The Good Life spoke about this, and I won't get all philosophical on you now because I won't shut up for a while. But that's what a lot of it was about too. It's it's partly what I call positive venting too. It's really, stuff's really good. It's a really good way to help me to find a positive way to deal with the world without letting the chaos of it make me want to be a volcano that needs venting. I'm also half Italian, which means I'm very, very passionate. And that probably explains the emotion and a lot of the stuff I do too. And that can be wonderful and detrimental too. So I have to be really careful or I blow myself up. And I was a walking volcano for a very long time, as a lot of people were that have the fire in the blood in different forms. So a lot of this has been about trying to channel it in a positive way. And it's taken me to doing a visual arts degree. It's taken me to, writing songs, doing stuff I'm proud of, which is not stuff I would have done. And to be completely honest, and I've said this a few times, and I'll say this and go, it really wouldn't have happened if it wasn't for every single person here, every single person that's come into my chats over the last 3 years, everyone that's, had me in their chat in the last 3 years, every place I've been out there and sung, everywhere I've been out there and enjoyed people singing. It's been such a beautiful cumulative experience, it's and we have to deal with a bit of crap for that. We deal with the trolling and the bots and everything else, but it makes it all worth it. So yeah, thank you. It's funny, the whole thing you mentioned with so one of the, just with vibrato, okay, vibrato is one of those things in your voice that happens when it happens, and it's really weird when it does. It feels like all of a sudden your chest is vibrating, and little bits of you vibrate at a time, and it's really weird. And you can't stop it once it's happened, and it's a really hard thing to learn how to control. And I really appreciate the fact that you've noticed that, because the best I can do is sometimes just hold it back for a minute and then let it go, because, and in reality, anyone that's sung for a long time, that's what you want. We've all heard the vibrato come out in Pug's voice most beautifully, particularly in the last year. The vibrato in his voice is just, and that's, what gives him the ability to be the king of ballads, I call him. And, and partly that's, it's, I mean that he is the king of ballads. There's a real style you need to be able to do that. And, so it's a lot of people will do it with effects, but it's not quite the same. For the same reason, I've got a lot of effects here, but I won't turn them on. I can do this, but I really don't think it's going to make things any better, because it's not violet, it's been filtered, and we want raw. So that's me, but it's not the same for everyone. So, and I will do stuff pre-production, but I'll never do anything post-production. So, I might set up, I might put some cool colors on my face, but I'll never add them afterwards. That's, that's partly, yeah. Yeah, I know what you mean. And what I'll do when I end quickly as well, because I am going to go now and I need to go get some food and stuff, is I will make sure I've modded everyone up as well that I have missed, because I don't even have Pug's IRL channel modded at the moment, which shows you how behind I am in on modding people. And it's actually been pleasant because we haven't had any bots today, which is really unheard for. So whether all you lovely bot swatters have been on it and I didn't notice, or whether we literally had no bots at all, thank you, universe. Bye, everyone.